Okay, so for the first part of this mold making, I'm going to put a glove coat on this, fill this up, and I'm actually going to create a bunch of pucks with probably just 5 milliliters, maybe 10 milliliters of the silicone. This is actually going to be used for registration on the glove mold for later on. For this part of the project, I am using a tap plastic silicone RTV. I've actually found that this is compatible with the 3D printed resin. So, and then we'll use side B, and we do. Let's see. Oh, it's on this side. So it is 1 part of the catalyst to 10 parts of the base. So we'll put 10 of this and 1 of those. So by parts, I'm going to do it by weight using this scale, and grams usually works really well for this. So let's figure out what units it's in. Awesome, I think I need to replace the battery. So a CR 2032 later, we have our gram scale zeroed out. I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir, which is kind of like chewing gum. It's kind of gross. I just recently used it, so I'm not going to do a lot of stirring. Now this stuff's pretty cool because you don't actually need to vacuum degas it. It settles in quite nicely. Okay, so for this, I think I'm going to go and use maybe 200 grams. But kind of at this point, it's really just about getting a round number that you can use with the your 10-to-1 measurement. Okay, so we are at 222. Now I usually put a little bit more than 10-to-1. Seems to work better in colder, humid environments. So we're going to shoot for, say, 23 grams of the blue stuff. Now I'm not using a mold release because this stuff comes off it only sticks really to itself, so I'm not terribly worried about mold release at this point. Maybe later on when we get to the casting, I'll use mold release. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these out of the way, let them cure. They'll take a while. We'll start on first coat of this one. Okay, so it's been 24 hours later, and this is cured up nicely. So let's go ahead and we're going to do two things. The first thing is remove this, demold those, and then we'll also go ahead and do another coat. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this out. Let's see how this works. Okay. Now I think we're going to want to slice the bottom here because I'm a little worried that these won't pull through. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to go get a knife and slice these a little bit. That I used to hold it down. Let's see how that pulls out. There we go. Beautiful. Now this is one of my favorite parts of this. So we can actually pull out all of this material in one go. So cathartic. Love that part. So for the next part of this, I'm going to thicken it up a little bit. I'm going to try this smooth on silicone. I'm not even going to try that word, but it works to increase the viscosity of tin or platinum cure silicone. So this is a tin cure silicone, so it should work. So let's see how that goes. Does seem to be thickening it up, so thickening it up. So I'm going to go ahead and trim these up to get ready for mounting. Here's a little tip. Save this stuff because it can be used as filler for deep castings. Okay, so let's see. How cured is this? Can we actually attach some of these? Oh, I waited a little bit too long. Yep. We're going to need to attach it with a new batch. So these registration tokens, I'm going to go ahead and try and put some of them on now. They might slide around a bit, but that's okay. So I do want some down at the bottom. to hold it up in the mold. Do you think I want some on here? So for casting this, and actually the rest of the mask, I'm using Smooth On 65D. This is typically used in cosplay for helmets and things like that. So this is the part that people typically wear. It is not certified skin safe, so I'm actually going to be using a separate material for the piece that actually touches the skin, but once this is cured, it won't off-gas at all. So, Smooth Cast 65D. Comes in big containers like this, but I am going to transfer it into smaller containers so that I can dose it correctly. So first we need to shake it, and then we mix it out. So it's been about 15 minutes. So you can see this turned opaque, foamed up a little bit. It is a little warm. So we can pop that out. I used way too much, sadly. So we'll have to remember that for next time. Only about 10 milliliters is all I need for each one of these. This is curing up nicely. It's still a little mushy, so we're not going to touch that. What I'm curious about is how the grid is going to come out, and whether or not I need to reprint this with a deeper grid. Still a little soft, so it still has some time to cure. A lot of time to cure. But that seems to actually be okay. So it's been a couple days since I last worked on this. I have added one or maybe two more coats off camera, and you can see that it's thickening up quite nicely. There are a couple holes that I want to address here, as well as the fact that there's no registration marks over here. While I'm at it, I do want to thicken up the base to add a lip for the overmold. So I'm going to get started.